Alan, thanks for coming on,
Hey,
dude.
how's it going, man?
Very
Nothing
good,
much, just
very
here
good. It's
chilling.
yeah, yeah, dude. This was like very short notice.
Yeah, definitely. I was really excited to see your message in chat, and I was like, oh dang, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if you do these interviews at all or anything like that, but like I was just like flicking through, and I was like I was listening to Hirax yesterday, and I was going through like the band members that he has now, and your name popped up, and I'm like, I was gonna check this dude out, and he's a guitar player, plays in a friggin' awesome metal band, and here we are. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime, man. I was listening to your album. Is it Bound by the Wicked by your band, by the
Yes.
way? How do I pronounce your band's name?
Yes. The way you pronounce it is anathema.
Gotcha. And dude, it's a friggin' ripper album, dude.
Thank you. We put in a lot of work into it, and basically Bound by the Wicked took quite a few years to come up. A lot of the compositions I actually came up with it myself. So it took
Yeah,
a lot of years worth of riffs from when I was a kid and everything, and then up to when I was an adult, all come together. So it's just a collection of riffs just from time.
yeah. Wow, that's rad. Now it's like obviously it's very thrash metal, which is like my favorite genre, but like it also sounds like a bit of like Creator as well.
Yeah, we've gotten that a lot. And when we were coming up, we were getting the album. I didn't even know what voice I was going for, because I didn't like even want to be the vocalist, but there was no
Yeah,
choice. So I
yeah.
just tried to pull something, whatever fit the music best.
Yeah. Did you audition for vocalists or were you looking for vocalists at the time?
So what happened was that when the band initially started back in 2016,
Yeah.
we had started the bassist Adrian. He convinced me to start the band. I didn't want to do it, and then he kind of dragged me all into it, and I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then we auditioned the vocalist, and
Yeah.
the vocalist just it didn't fit. And the guys that we had there at the time was myself, my co-founder Adrian, along with the other two members. They had said, you know what, why don't you just do it? And I was like, why do I have
Yeah.
to do it, man? But so I just
Yeah.
stepped up, and I try to find my voice in the music.
Yeah. It wasn't that like that with I'm pretty sure wasn't that like that with Megadeth? How Dave
Ye-
Mustaine were looking for like a vocalist
Yeah,
at the
I think
time.
so. Yeah, I believe so. So, just it happens a lot. I think even with Metallica as well. And it just
Yeah.
happens that, you know what, someone's got to take the mantle. It's hard to find a vocalist.
Yeah, true. And to do your style of playing as well. So yeah. So like you're out the band like started in 2016.
Yes. Yeah, so it started quite a while ago, and we formed in 2016, but we didn't start playing shows until 2017. And then
Yeah.
we went on a hiatus because of COVID. So that put
Yeah.
like a whole dent in the band, and then we had to basically reform everything, reorganize everything after the pandemic. And
Yeah.
luckily, this album, Bound by the Wicked, we were able to bring it together, after COVID.
Yeah. And how did you guys get together? Like, how did you get your band members together to form this awesome band?
So you know what? It started off with my bassist, like I was saying earlier. Adrian,
Yeah.
he wanted to start the band, and he wanted to do what's called. He was like, Alan, let's do power metal. And I told him I don't
Yeah.
want to do power metal. That's not my
Really?
thing. And he kept bugging me. Yeah, I mean, I like to listen to it, but I don't want to play it. And
Yeah.
he just kept telling me like, Alan, let's do a band. And then one day I told him, you know what? if we're gonna do a band, it's got to be thrash. It's got to be, the band name's got to be Anathema. And I just didn't want to be in a band, so I made all these
Yeah.
crazy requirements so he could say, "Nah, never mind." But then he was just like, "Oh man, you know what? Let's do it." And I was like, "Oh crap, now I'm screwed." So I happen to know this guy by the name of Francisco, and we
Yeah.
had gone to school with each other at the time at CSUN. So pretty much I knew him, and then Francisco knew a drummer named Lico. So from
Yeah.
there, it was just a chain of people who knew each other, and then we just jumped on to form a band from there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, dude. And like I was going through like your guys webpage as well. Have you guys played some freaking cool places as well, like Whiskey and Go Go and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. Luckily we have Jake always booking us there. It's always Jake, and he's always, very kind to put us on multiple shows. We had the pleasure of playing with like Warbringer,
Yeah.
Enforcer, quite a few good acts of Metalachi at the time, and
Yeah.
just it's really fun being there. And then also playing in Arizona at the Blues Bar, and this place called Dive Bar in Vegas. So we've been able to
Yeah.
get around, and it's been really awesome traveling.
Yeah, that's rad as shit, dude. Freaking I was going through your Instagram as well. I think it was Instagram or YouTube, and I
Yeah,
think there was like a video of you of like wearing a Freddy Krueger mask.
yeah, yeah. So we played a Halloween show,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the drummer at that time, his name was Joe, and he was like, "We should all dress up, like Wes Craven characters." And I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
man!" So he was Michael Myers, and then I was
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger. But then the bassist was a
Yeah.
pirate. We're like, "Bro, you're supposed to fit in with us."
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude. So like so was this like your actual first band? Were you playing in bands before this one?
So you know what? I was in a band before. The band was called POK, stood for Perfectly on Key, and it was a funk slash like jazzy type of vibe, and it was a
Yeah.
fusion of a lot of things like hip hop and all that. And that band was very promising at the time. It was a mixture of us because I was about 15 or 16 at the time, and there were like
Yeah.
18 and 19-year-olds, and it was just a good group of talent. But then the group had fallen apart, after, unfortunately, like we had great supporters who had passed on, and
Yeah.
the band just fell apart after that. So
Yeah.
it was a matter of, us trying to, regroup, and it just couldn't. And the band just kept splitting multiple times. That's actually why I wasn't in any groups after that. I was like, I don't want to be in bands anymore after that. Until Adrian,
Yeah.
pushed me to do Anathema.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be a little bit stressful sometimes as well, too, eh?
Yeah, it is, because you have that band had 8 members in it, a 7 or 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, to
Oh,
get 7 or 8 people on the same creative wavelength is so
yeah.
difficult. And I
Yeah.
have a hard time with 4. you know? Yeah.
I guess like if like bands of Slipknot can like pull their shit together like that, I'm sure like you guys could have done sort of done
Oh,
something like that as well.
yeah, and then I think at that time, with that band POK, since there's just so many young guys, and I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of pulling, in that band. But I was still so
Yeah.
grateful to, work with them, and then,
Yeah.
eventually, with Anathema, it was more so, under my direction there. So it was a lot easier in that way.
Yeah. No, man, that's awesome. It's awesome. So how did you get into music?
The way I got into it was literally listening to Metallica,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
obsessed with Metallica. I'm just gonna be honest, I love those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
One day I was at a record store, and I picked up an album called Reload. And I was like, huh, this looks cool. There's a big sun on it. I guess I'm gonna buy it, right? You know, so I bought it and I started listening to it, and I actually really loved it. I was a kid, like I was like 10 or 11, and I
Yeah,
loved it. And then from there, I
yeah,
was like, oh, what other stuff is there? So then I heard Load, and
yeah,
then I listened to Metallica backwards, or the wrong way, I should say, you know,
yeah,
because then I didn't
yeah,
discover Master or Ride the Lightning until way later, after hearing these albums. So
yeah,
when I was hearing this stuff, I was like, man, I want to get into music. I want to pick up a guitar now, you know?
yeah,
And it
yeah,
literally started off with me begging my parents, can I have a guitar? And they didn't have the money at the time, unfortunately. So I had to literally dig through trash cans, collecting recyclables. And I was like, I need my
yeah,
guitar.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
selling chips at school and all that, and then I got into music like that. Yeah.
yeah. See, like I'm a big Metallica fan as well, but like Justice for All did it for me.
Yeah.
Their Master of Puppets, and then like I became a fan. But like, cause I was like big into metal, but then like I grew up with Kiss, I grew up with Alice Cooper and stuff like that, and like some of like the '80s hair metal bands and shit. And
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
know, like Metallica was just like I didn't understand what thrash was. Like to me, thrash is like punk music but on speed.
Yeah, yeah, and,
Yeah,
so when I heard Reload at first, I was like, "Oh, this is very groovy," and then when I heard, the Black Album, and I heard Justice, and I was like, "These
yeah,
can't be the same guys, no way," you know?
yeah,
And then I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, shit, I listened to them the wrong way," and then to
yeah,
hear just how fucking punchy and aggressive thrash is, I needed more of that, you know?
yeah. Yeah. So like, and I became like a big fan of Metallica, but then also became like a really big fan of thrash metal. But then like, I remember playing, I think it was Tony Hawk 1 or 2. It was one of those two games, and I had Bring the Noise by Anthrax on there, and that's when I fell in
Yeah,
love with thrash.
that's that's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
for me, what it was is that I kept digging more into like the members and trying to find out who's who, and then I started
Yeah.
watching videos on Cliff,
Yeah.
and I loved Cliff. Like the way I try to move on stage is I try to do my best to like live up to Cliff, because it's like he's amazing, And
Yeah.
I started finding more bands through his book or through a book called To Live Is to Die, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's how I got into my rabbit hole of like Anthrax, Testament, Exodus and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got into Testament a little bit like later through a friend, but like Metallica, Anthrax. Then I slowly got into like a bit of Slayer and stuff like that. And me and my brother used to have like these wars between Megadeth and Metallica.
Yeah,
He would be like,
yeah.
"Fuck Metallica sucks. Freaking Megadeth sounds better, man, and more heavier." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." And but then once you get older, though, once you get older, you appreciate it more.
You do, And I used to be like that a little bit too, like, "Oh, Metallica,"
Yeah,
But then
same.
when you start hear yeah, but when you start hearing the complexity of Dave's stuff, it's fantastic. Like, great example, Rest in Peace Polaris, how
Oh
funky that
yeah,
is,
yeah.
Jeez, that's
The
some
riff
good
to Holy
riffing.
Wars.
Oh
The
my
riff to Holy
lord.
Wars. It's like he's playing him backwards.
Yeah, man.
And you know,
And
it's like listening to the original riff, but in backwards, but like it's played like the intro is like backwards playing ish. But like, dude, like Dave Mustaine is like the god of just like just picking fast and like his chord progressions and everything. So
yeah,
I'm a guitar nerd as well, but like he's fucking amazing. And I've seen him live like maybe once with and during the Dystopia tour. Dude,
yeah.
and I met him as well. Such amazing dude, but like
Oh,
seeing him live is amazing.
That's awesome, man. I haven't had the chance to see them yet. I want to
Yeah.
see them for sure. But I'm too busy, spending my money on Metallica. It's so
Don't worry.
pricey.
Don't worry. I'm going to see them for the first time in November.
Oh, you're gonna love it, man. Metallica puts on a fucking great show, you know.
Yeah, well,
So,
their support acts are Evanescent and Suicidal Tendencies.
oh, Evanescence? Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well, I was
that's
hoping for
interesting.
like maybe Limp Bizkit and Nine Inch Ice Nine Kills or something.
Yeah, Ice Nine Kills has been touring with them a lot lately, Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
surprised to hear
yeah,
Evanescence. But Suicidal
yeah,
Tendencies and Metallica? Whoo,
yeah.
that's gonna be a good one.
I know. And also going to see Testament in June as well. That show just sold out, so I managed to get my tickets early for that one. Fucking can't wait for that, dude. That'll be like my second time seeing them. But
Oh
dude,
yeah.
like they carry the flag for thrash metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's for sure, man. That
yeah.
is for sure. Just Chuck's voice, Chuck's voice every time I hear it on live versus then hearing it
Mm.
on the record, it's the same. Like it is spot on. Chuck Billy does not miss.
Fuck no, dude. And like for his age now, like he can still pull off those fucking amazing vocal screams as well. It's amazing what he can do, man. But
Yeah, for
so
sure.
wait, was your family like heavily into like music as well? Like were they like into like bands and stuff?
Funny enough, no. You know, um,
Really?
my dad, yeah, no. And like my dad, when I was growing up, wasn't into the whole like me listening to metal thing. So he
Yeah.
didn't understand it until actually I was an adult and he took me to
Mm.
go see a show, like until I was 18. That's when
Yeah.
he finally started to loosen up a bit. My
Yeah.
mom, she more listened to like, like 80s house music, like and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there was nothing like that. I have to credit that to my uncle Alex because
Yeah.
he would listen to Metallica here and there, and
Yeah.
then listen to metal and he was listening to his Ice Cube and everything like that, but he would also listen to glimpses of harder stuff. So that's where I
Yeah.
would pick up some of the things, and that's where I got very curious.
Yeah. Ah, that's awesome, man. And uh the drummer for Suicide Silence, Alex Lopez, I believe he's like Mexican. I saw like this
Yeah.
really cool footage of him playing drums in a mariachi band playing along to War Pigs.
Yeah, yeah. That's fucking funny,
Have you seen it?
And wait, hold on, you said he was playing with the mariachi band, right?
Yeah. And
That
they were doing
that
like
just
War
might
Pigs or something.
that just might be Metalachi, dude. I think
Yeah, I
that
think
might be
so. It's
them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you haven't
Yeah, I've
seen it, I'll
seen
send
that.
it to you later on. Have you seen it?
Yeah, send it.
It's rad.
I've seen
It's
it.
rad as shit. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, man, and Metalachi puts on a good show, man. Especially when they have
Yeah.
their OG guys with now he goes by Gunsko Ricky as well as
Yeah.
Mavero Duran. They're an outlaw
Yeah.
mariachi now, but when they were together, their OG group, wow, they put on a show.
Yeah. I've seen like clips and stuff like that. It looks like fun, like just like a fun concert to go to and just dance and shit.
Yeah, exactly, And that's the stuff that a lot of my family would listen to. So,
Yeah.
hearing, that blended and then with metal, like that's why I got so into that. Cause it was like, oh
Yeah.
shoot, this is different types of just music coming together. You never think would be brought together. It's so weird, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you get into playing guitar?
Yeah, that, it was a lot of just listening to just the music and hearing how aggressive it was made me
Yeah.
really want to play. So hearing the Metallica records, Slayer Rain and Blood was another thing that I was really into. And I used to
Yeah.
listen to this on my CD player. And I was like, man, I really want to do that. So
Yeah.
when I eventually got my guitar, I wanted to, just that was the first thing I started doing picking it up, trying my best to learn the stuff I wanted to. But
Yeah.
a lot of my credit goes to Guitar Hero because I wanted to build the speed first before I actually
Yeah.
started learning more guitar, and that actually helped out a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. You'll be amazed that on TikTok, like people are live streaming themselves still playing Guitar Hero in 2025.
You know, that's crazy. I wouldn't even think that. You know, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like when I discovered Rocksmith, like that changes, like, learning how to play guitar as well, because it actually gives you lessons, and then actually shows you how to play the chords properly as well.
Yeah. Wow. So wait, you say Guitar Hero does that?
No, it's Rocksmith. Yeah, Rocksmith. It's like when you
Oh,
plug
rock.
in your real guitar into like your Xbox or PC or whatever it is.
Oh shit,
So
that's
you
crazy.
actually yeah, so you can actually play along to any song that's on the game
Yeah.
through your guitar, through like your Xbox or PC.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know, that
Yeah,
you could
man.
do that.
It's friggin' awesome as hell, dude.
Wow, where was
Yeah.
this when I was learning?
That's a good question, because like I've been playing guitar since I was like maybe 12, like on and off. Like I'm 39 now, but like I was like self-taught, like playing
Yeah.
guitar, dude. I've only been to
Yeah,
one
man.
lesson.
Yeah. Same here. I'm self-taught as well. And just when you
Yeah.
just love something so much, you do anything you can to be good at it, you know?
Yeah. Do you find like most of the self-taught guitar players are like the best ones there in the metal genre?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I just feel like that's because, those of us who are self-taught just have that grit that we need to learn this, and we need to
Yeah.
keep improving because we just love our instrument so much.
Yeah. Yeah. That I'm the same. Now I can just like rely on YouTube and stuff these days
Yeah,
now. It's a lot more
yeah,
easier.
yeah,
Or sometimes when I go to
and
gigs, I like to like watch the guitar player and see what he's playing.
yeah, same, you look at their pedals like, "Oh, what do they have going on down there?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm the same thing as well, dude. Like I'm there for the music, but then I'm also there for the guitar player. See what, like, shit, I'm playing this wrong. Like he's playing this. But it's always like trying to figure out the tuning.
Yeah, that too. And this is what I'll say, a lot of credit. I do credit, Katon with this too.
Yeah.
Because like when I would play, I would miss my pinky a lot. And I never really noticed that. And he would
Yeah.
tell me, "Hey, your pinky, you need to use it, Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, oh dang, I better get better at using my pinky.
Yeah.
So,
I When I play just like power chords, I just use like these two fingers here. I don't
yeah.
do
Oh,
the I always do the two finger power chord because I'm lazy.
yeah. I do the 3,
Yeah.
but when it comes to my leads, I
Yeah.
heavily depend on my ring finger, you
Oh,
know?
really?
And then
Yeah.
yeah, and then I'll occasionally throw in the pinky, but, I've
Yeah.
been told, "Hey, you gotta throw more of that pinky in?" So yeah, and a lot of my
Yeah.
solos, I actually down pick a lot of my solos.
Yeah,
So it's
right.
just a lot of
I down pick a lot.
yeah, same, and I love to down pick. I like that chuck, 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 chuck.
Yeah, me too. That's how I got my picking technique from James Hetfield. I kind of alternate pick for shit.
Yeah, same. I'm the same way. I'm always chuck, 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 chuck. And it's
Yeah,
just
man.
for me, you get such good attack like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your go-to guitar right now? Like what guitars are you been playing for Hirax and for your band?
So I actually use Jackson King V for both.
Yeah,
And
right. You're a big Jackson
yes,
person.
I'm a Jackson
Yeah.
guy, you know. And
Yeah.
the two different Jacksons I use for each one because of the tuning. Like for
Yeah.
Hirax, we go onto D standard versus Anathema, we play an E standard. So and I use
Ah.
Floyd Rose. That's a must,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
so I have to use two separate guitars for that. And the
Ah.
Jackson that I use with Hirax is I think a 2012 model versus
Yeah.
and it's a neck through. It's a neck through black, I think Pro Series versus the one I use in Anathema. It's a lot of sentimental value to me. And it's like a
Yeah.
middle of a road Jackson, bolt on neck,
Yeah.
and has a rosewood fingerboard.
Oh, nice. Nice. See, I've always been a Les Paul person, man. Only because of Ace Frehley from Kiss.
No, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get into the Randy Rhodes because I would
Yeah.
see Kirk Hammett play with the Rhodes. And
Yeah.
especially a lot on I think during the Justice tour, he would play a lot of on that Rhodes, but I just couldn't. I didn't like it because I hate
Yeah.
how the ends. Yeah, I don't like how the ends are uneven. That bothers me. So I have to
Yeah.
go for a
Right.
King V.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
See, I've always been a Les Paul person because of Ace Frehley and Slash and all that type of stuff. But then like my first real guitar was a Fender Stratocaster and made from Mexico. And I've had that one for a very, very, very long time. I've just like switched pickups on them. I just put like the hot rail pickups from Seymour Duncan's
Yeah.
just
Oh,
for
those
like
are good.
bit of bit of for like that heavy crunch, like Maiden soundish.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but I've always been a Les Paul.
Those Mexican
Yeah,
Strats
dude.
are awesome guitars. So is that it?
That's it.
Wow, look at that. Oh, look at that fretboard. Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. You can
You can
never
see.
go wrong with the Mexican Strat.
Yeah. So what's the
Oh,
difference
man.
between a Mexican Strat and a American Strat? Is it like just the way how it's
Well,
built? Or
yeah, it's just the way it's built, you know. From
gotcha.
what I've heard and reading upon it, it's just the way it's built and things like that. And just I guess that one from what I've heard and feedback is that the Mexican Strats, they're a little bit more sturdier than the American ones.
Yeah, right. I think I might have played an American telly, and I just like the feel on this, man. Like I've had this for a good maybe 13, 14 years or so,
Wow.
man. And I always clean my guitars and stuff as well. I take good care of them. But yeah, I put like the hot rail pickups in these
Yeah, there you go. That's cool.
and just put a shit ton of stickers. But I've got this one tuned down to E
Nice.
flat. But because I cheat when I drop pedal, when I down tune, I use a drop pedal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
like,
know, I've been tempted.
but like, yeah, but like Les Pauls and like Fenders always been my thing. But then I started saving up money and bought like my first 7-string Ibanez. Then I've bought like a Schecter Demon 6, which those are
Yeah.
fucking great guitars too, man. Short scaled, but like they're really good. And one of my best friends bought me a SpongeBob acoustic.
Oh, that's cool. You gotta play those
I'll send you a
SpongeBob tune on it.
photo of it. Yeah,
You have
I
to.
need to learn that too. I have to, yeah. Probably when you come to
Yeah.
Australia, you could do some like acoustic stuff with that, man.
Yeah.
And then my last guitar I bought a ESP LTD Eclipse.
I have one of those.
Yeah,
They're
man.
great guitars.
It's like I think it's an EC10. I think it is.
It's not an EC1000?
No. Oh no. I think it's a EC10 or whatever it is. So it's sort of like a sort of shaped like a Les Paul Junior ish.
It's like
Yeah.
black and yellow, right?
Mine's just black.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine is black and
Yeah.
yellow.
Oh yeah, right. Was that like the James Hetfield like models?
I think it was. Because
Yeah,
they came with the EMG 81s, and
yeah,
what I ended up swapping them out for the Hetfield set ones. All my guitars have the headsets,
yeah.
because like I'm that Metallica nut, you know.
Yeah, I need to get a pair of those. I've got a the Jim Root EMG pickups, like the new ones that came out like maybe 2 years ago. They're sort of like a passive pickup, but it's like
Yeah.
it's an active, and it's very easy to install. But I haven't put those into my Schecter yet. But yeah, I got turned on to ESP guitars for a friend of mine. He plays in a metal band called Primitive. You'll love them,
Okay.
dude. They're like Metallica meets Machine Head and Trivium.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah,
You
I'll
said
send
it's
you
called
some of their
Primitive?
stuff, man. Yeah, Primitive. They're from
Yeah,
Melbourne,
yeah, please do.
and yeah, yeah. I had him on my. I had the guitarist and slash vocalist on this podcast, and yeah, he works for like a guitar factory for ESP Australia.
Oh, that's cool.
So he likes demos out all like the ESP guitars and shit. I'm just like, I need to buy one of those and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ESP LTDs are freaking awesome guitars, but like
Oh,
I
that's
always have to
fucking
go back to
amazing.
my Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to own a Jackson or a Dean at least. But speaking
Oh
of
yeah.
like awesome thrash metal, speaking of like awesome thrash metal bands, man. So I had Katon on here like about a month or two ago, and we are talking about the Big Four. And I asked him like, who would you pick for your next Big Four lineup? So who would you pick for your next Big Four lineup?
Oh man. Like, are you talking like for more like modern thrash?
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Uh, you know what? Because like I feel like I can't pick Exodus and Testament just because I feel like that's
Yeah.
like a continuation. But
Yeah.
if I had to pick like a modern, I guess a more modern era, I would say
Yeah.
definitely. Oh man, Havoc would be one. Two would be Warbringer. Three
Yeah.
would be Bonded by Blood,
Yeah.
and then I fourth. Oh man, I guess Ex Mortis. They're more like that neo thrash. They had like neoclassical. But
Yeah.
definitely those four.
Yeah. See, I would pick like Death Angel.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you were talking about that, then I would put them.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, but
because I
then
feel
I
like
put Death Angel, but then I'll put like maybe some of like sort of like the modern thrash bands, like is it Municipal Waste?
oh yeah, Municipal Waste.
Yeah, I'll put them on there as well. Or even just like as like a support act just to open up the Big Four. But then I'll put them as like a support
Yeah,
act, but I'll definitely put Death Angel, Overkill, and
yeah.
then
Oh, Overkill. That's a great one.
yeah, uh then Testament will
Yeah,
be in there.
Testament. You have to have
See
Exodus in
this.
there.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be number one. They're the headlining one. But like to be number two, it's hard. But like, they'll probably put SOD.
Oh yeah. You know what? Sodom.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Sodom.
Kaden got me into them. Yeah, and there's a band called in Australia called Mortal Sin.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, but
You
I
know
feel
what?
like early
Speak,
80s, mid 90s thrash.
have you heard Hidden Intent?
No, are they good?
They're an Australian band too, and
Shit, I
they
gotta.
whoop a lot of ass.
Yeah, awesome. I gotta check them out too, man. But like, yeah, to pick like the next Big Four, it's so hard to replace like
It,
the previous Big Four lineup.
yeah, and it's like when I think of Death Angel, Exodus, and Testament, I feel like they're a part of that. That Big Four,
Yeah.
especially being so close in age, and they all have their legacies together. They bounce off of each other. And like
Oh
thinking
yeah,
about like
definitely.
our heroes are
Yeah.
getting older. That's a
Yeah,
bummer.
yeah. Someone needs to pick up the flag, man. Which I think there is like like newer thrash metal bands out there, isn't it? You just need to look for them, man. You really need to dig that hole up and just like dig and just see what you find down there.
I agree.
Yeah. So you've been playing with Hirax since 2004.
No. I've been playing Hirax since last year. Last year around
Oh, not
uh
2004, 2024. Sorry. I said
yeah, I was
2004.
like,
It's
whoa.
2024. 2024. Sorry. Yeah.
I was like, I was in elementary school.
Yeah. It's a good first
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I started in 2024, around, I would say, July, June-ish. I think June or July, one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, right. How did you get that gig?
So that one happened because of Jose. So Jose was actually previously in my band in Anathema, and
Yeah.
and Jose was recruited into Hirax, and eventually, Jose departed Anathema since he joined Hirax, and
Yeah.
eventually an opening had happened, and he
Yeah,
reached
right.
out to me, yeah, telling me, hey, we need someone for the European tour. Uh, would you like to potentially help us out and audition? I said, okay, sounds good to me. And I have a really close relationship with Jose. So I had told him, you know what? I would love to play with you again, man, because we miss him. And
Yeah.
so I said, all right, cool, and I love playing alongside him. So I had to say yes.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Like to play in a legendary 80s thrash metal band. Like
Yeah.
that is like at such a young age as well. Like that's just fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and it makes me really happy because, not only do I get to do that, but also too, it's a matter of, I get to play with someone close who's family to me. Jose
Yeah.
and I actually grew up, we knew each other since we were kids too. We
Oh,
come from the
awesome.
same church. Yeah, we come from the same church community. So,
Yeah,
we
right.
weren't super close. Yeah, we weren't super close back then, but we knew of each other. Our
Yeah.
families knew each other well. So it was really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Like and like I've seen like some like recent like live footage because like I follow Katon and he follows me as well, which is pretty funny is because like I think he added me first on Instagram and I didn't know who the
Yeah.
fuck it was. So I followed him back and I did some research and I just saw like 80s legendary 80s freshman. I'm like, all right, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but like you play like festivals like that too, man. That's fucking rad as shit.
yeah, it was amazing, and funny enough, and the credit goes all to Kaden because I'm so thankful because I as a kid, and even with my band Anathema, I would tell us the goal is Vakin, that's the goal, that's the Holy Land. We must land there, you know.
Yeah,
And then that gift, was given, because of Kaden, and honestly, I appreciate that so much,
yeah.
and it's like wow, to experience that, not everybody gets to do that.
No, it's like what, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes me push myself harder, with Anathema, and it makes me
Mm,
think, yeah, I'm doing double duty, but at the same time, you know what, I definitely want to make sure my own band, we succeed and push to that kind of level because it's very
yeah,
inspiring to see like a band like Hirax keep pushing, pushing, and pushing. The work keeps getting done, and I take that
yeah.
as a lot of inspiration.
Oh yeah, and like you would have been getting like a lot of tips from him as well on the road.
Yeah, just seeing the way he does things, it's like, man, and like a great word he uses is pro. Like this is
Yeah,
pro, that's pro. It's like, okay, what's pro? Let me keep an eye on that. Well, like, and
yeah, yeah,
I yeah, and I learned that, and it's like, okay, this is the parts of the industry that I have to take note of, and
yeah.
of course bring that home with me.
Yeah. Um, I actually did not know that you didn't play on the latest album because I remember we were chatting through Instagram, and then
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So how come? So why weren't you in the recording? If you don't mind me asking.
So that one was done by Neil Metcalf, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was just done by him and the guitar by with Katon and Neil Metcalf. And I
Yeah.
can't comment too much on it because I wasn't there, you know.
Yeah.
So what I can say is that eventually, they wrote Faster Than Death together, and eventually it came out. And my
Yeah.
task was to learn the riffs and take care of business.
Yeah. Yeah. And playing those songs live would have been just fucking awesome as well.
Yeah, yeah, and playing, sound, the tracks on there, they're fantastic tracks. So it's
Yeah,
really fun
dude.
to, yeah, bring them
Oh,
out.
why not? Even though it only goes for like maybe 20 something minutes or whatever like that, man. And I think there was like one re-recorded track on the I think it was on the last track as well. But it's such a banger album. It's just like pure 80s old school thrash. It just makes me want to
Yeah, one.
just punch a window or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fantastic record, amazing record.
Yeah, yeah,
And literally no time for rest. That's what I like
yeah,
about it. It's literally keep going, and that's
yeah.
what's cool about
But you
thrash.
oh dude, like thrash is like it's very underrated. It still is a very underrated genre.
Yeah, it is, and it's so crazy because like here in the US, a lot of people, they don't really listen to thrash like that. We have our, especially like in Los Angeles, we have our groups of friends who do and our communities that do, but they're very
Yeah,
small. And it's like, especially like with the LA scene, like with Anathema, we know bands like Corrupt, Vexum, and things like that, and everybody knows everybody. But
yeah,
then, when you go to like Europe, it's like it's everywhere. And it's
yeah,
like, wow, like metal is on the literally there's a poster on the street for metal. That's freaking
yeah,
awesome. You don't
yeah.
really see that too much.
I just love it so much, man. Like I try get into like the newer like genres a little bit. Like now, like kids are like listening to a lot of like deathcore and metalcore, which is fine. But like they're all in for the
Yeah.
breakdowns and that man. Like, and I had my buddy Corey Thomas. He plays in the band called Valkyrie AD, and it's like early Trivium, but like black, like sort of like black metal. And I'll send you some of his stuff as well. It's just him playing. He does everything at
Oh, that's
home.
awesome.
We were talking um, about like how we prefer a good guitar riff than just like fucking breakdowns and breakdowns and breakdowns
Yeah.
and all that stuff. To me, that's kind of boring.
Yeah. You like the guitar riff really matters. It's got to be catchy.
Yeah,
It's got to be something you got to bang your head to, and
yeah,
that's, with me when it comes to writing music. Like let's say, we have our tracks on Bound by the Wicked, and a really big one for me is Leech. And there's that
yeah,
middle section we have, and we go bump 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 bump. It's just like we want to bang our heads there. We even like kind of like before we transition into that part,
yeah,
we as a band we sync with each other, and we bang our
yeah,
heads to the snare, and then once it comes to the
yeah.
full beat, we just start going ham, and that's what it's about. Yeah, thugging.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like I'd just rather listen to a really good guitar riff, man,
Yeah, just something
and
that's
that's
really
it.
gonna drive you nuts.
Oh yeah, 100%. So since this is a music and horror podcast, do you like horror movies? Well, you did
I
mention
love
you
horror
dressed up as
movies.
like yeah. Well, you did mention that you dressed up as Freddy Krueger. What was your first horror movie that you watched
Uh,
for the first time, and how old were you?
you know what? The first one I watched, I can't remember the first one I watched, but one memorable one that I just caught my attention was Final Destination, the first one. And
They
I
freaked me out.
was yeah, it scared the shit out of me. And the worst part was I was a child, like I was in elementary school, and my
Yeah,
parents they had VHSs and they would record over the VHS to save movies. So I
yeah,
punched it in and I start watching it. They're like, "What's this movie about?" And then I see the plate start to fall apart, and I start
yeah,
freaking out. That's kind of
yeah,
how like I got introduced. It was Final Destination that did it.
yeah. See, for me it was Scream.
Oh, Scream! Oh, that's awesome.
Scream did it
How
for
old were
me
you
when I
when you
was
saw it?
12.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I didn't look 39, but like, yeah, I was like 12 years old, 12, 13 years old. And back in the day where VHS stores were around, my mum and dad, when they were still together, we used to go to like our local video stores to just get movies and watch as a family. And they'll have like new releases on the weekend. And mum's just like, pick a movie and blah 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 blah
Uh-huh.
and stuff, and then we can get it. And then I'm like, Scream,
Yeah.
even though you have to be like, even though because it was rated MA 15 plus, and I think you have to be like
Oh,
15 and over, so you got to have like a guardian to get it for you. So they got it for me, and yeah, that was a game changer, dude.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. Like Wes Craven, just the movies that he would make. Like I love it. Like I'm a big Freddy fan. I love Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger.
yeah.
And I went as far as like I have the glove. I there was a guy that was custom making them online,
Ah,
so I
no
just
way.
had to have
Yeah.
one.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
sort of
bought
like a
it.
replica glove. Was it like a replica
Yeah,
or anything, or just like a
it
copy?
it's a replica, but not
Yeah.
licensed because he made it, and
Ah,
the
mad.
blades, yeah, the blades are legit blades, but they're not pointy or they're not sharpened. They're
Yeah.
they're pointy, but they're not
Yeah.
sharpened. I'll send you a
Yeah.
picture. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Scream did it for me. And then yeah, and then other movies like Friday the 13th. I think it
Oh
was like
yeah.
Friday the 13th Part 8 got me sort of into it a little bit. And then like all the other stuff, Child's Play and then as soon as like and then Halloween when I was like 16 is that and that. But then I remember watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, but like the reboot.
Yeah.
That I got my
Whoo!
brother to buy me. The reboot is like really brutal compared to the original, but like
Yeah.
I got my brother to get me that on DVD because I wasn't old enough to get it, and fuck, that traumatized me for at least 2 days.
Funny enough, that one scared the crap out of me. It was
Yeah,
that one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and
yeah,
another movie that freaked me out was Amityville Horror. That one freaked
yeah.
me out as a kid too.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Well, yeah, the reboot was with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I guess it was. I didn't know that. I just haven't seen that
Yeah,
movie that
yeah.
long. Like,
Me either. I think it was like me, my mom, and my sister watched it, and that scared the shit out of me as well. But like Halloween was a bit of a game changer as well. But then after that, a few years later down the track, I got into like home invasion movies, like The Purge, The Strangers.
yeah,
Those movies, like The Strangers, to this day still scares me because like that shit can happen in real life.
yeah. Yeah, it's freaky, man. I another one I have to just give my hats off to is the
Yeah.
Candyman. I
Yes.
really love that movie too. The original one, that one
Yeah.
freaked me the fuck out when I first
Oh,
saw
really?
it. Yeah,
I
just the
watched
way.
I don't know if it was. Well, I don't know if it was the reboot or something. That's the one that I watched first.
Oh, the one with um oh, what's his name? that director. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Jordan
With you're talking
Peele.
about
Jordan Peele.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Well, Jordan Peele was like the producer or something like that. But yeah,
yeah. The that one didn't. That one I liked it, but that one didn't give me the EBGBs. I would say it was the original one that freaked me out,
yeah,
and the
yeah. I gotta
soundtrack.
check that one out. So good.
Yeah, the soundtrack on it when you watch it, wow, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Friggin' yeah, Candyman. Even like the Saw movies, man. Like the first two Saw movies were great.
Yeah, the ending always left you like, "What?" You know? Oh, it was always the ending
Exactly.
for the Saw movies.
Yeah. That what else, man? Like even like the psychological horror movies as well. They're always good to watch. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Get Out. What else is another psychological horror?
You know what?
Well, psychological thriller.
There was
What's that?
this newer one. I it left me uneasy. This movie called Smile. Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna bring that and Smile 2 as well because those ones really just messed me up, and Barbarian as well.
I haven't seen the second one for Smile yet, but the first one
Yeah,
fucked me up. I was just like, ah, when I was watching that.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, man. Same here, dude. Like that chick in the hospital where when she just like turns around and smiles and like fucking just cuts her own throat or whatever it was. I'm just like,
for
eh.
me,
And the ending,
for me, it
yeah,
was when the car window, like
yeah.
that person was at the car window and whatever, just smiling. Ugh, fuck.
Yeah. But there's just heaps. Just like Evil Dead is one of them. You know, like Evil Dead 1, 2, Army of Darkness. The reboot was great. Evil Dead Rise was great as well.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like because I watch movies all the time, man. Like when you get old, all you want to do is watch movies.
You know, I need
Trust
to
me.
really I really need to get on that movie train, you know. As of late,
Yeah,
I've been really into like, like the TV shows like Marvel and stuff like that. But definitely like you can't go wrong with anytime there's a good horror movie in the movie like that comes out and anytime the theaters, that's a must for me to
yeah,
go. Like it's like a good one out there.
yeah, definitely. I find it now like horror movies is just all about reboots.
As of late, yeah, you know, they're just bringing it back. Like the night I remember when the Nightmare on Elm Street reboots came out, I didn't
Oh,
dig
that
them
was
so
rubbish.
much. Yeah, they weren't good at all, you know. And
Yeah.
then they did the Chucky one too, Child's Play. I didn't like that one either.
Oh no, that was horrible too. I still went to the theaters and
Yeah,
watched it, but that was the way how they did that movie was horrible.
yeah.
uh,
Uh,
so what did they do to
I
Chucky's face? He had too much Botox.
yeah, for real, yeah, for real. And you know, watching the I'm so glad that Peacock came out with the TV shows or
Oh,
the
that
I
was
don't know if
cool
you've seen
too.
them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
I've been
Yeah,
really
I
enjoying
love
those.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
the I didn't like the space when we went to space or some shit, and then went to the White House. That kind of just went off guard for
Oh,
me a little bit.
wait, the space one, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to space for like one episode or some shit.
I
I
haven't
think it was like
seen
in the
that. That
second
hasn't been out on
season.
Peacock yet.
Really?
What?
I think it
I,
might be on the
I
second season. I think it's in the second season because they only done 3 seasons of Chucky.
oh, I need to watch that because I'm on the White House one.
Oh, you're in the White House one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like one when he's in space for like 1 or 2 episodes or some shit.
I need to catch that. But the White House one, I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying it, you know, and just
That
watching
wasn't
it,
too
it cracks
bad.
me up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
cracks
wasn't too bad.
like it cracks me up how they keep using the same actor over and over again. He was the priest, now he's the president, and then he's a doppelganger. It cracks me up.
Yeah. Well, I was really happy that with like, because I was a little worried on how they were gonna do the friggin' the TV series and how it's gonna make sense, but the way how they did it is like they started where they left off from like maybe the third Child's Play movie or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like the
and I thought,
storylines where it was good.
yeah, I thought I was gonna do something like that too, but I liked how it went.
Yeah, and it's good that they brought back Brad Dourif as Chucky as well.
Yeah, that voice. There's no one can replace him as Chucky.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, dude. I think Mark Hamill, whatever his name is, the guy that played fucking Luke Skywalker, he did the reboot, and I'm sorry, dude. It was just no. Although I did watch Zombieland 1 and 2 last week.
Oh,
Have you seen those?
yeah, I seen that. Starts off with "For Whom the Bell Tolls," right?
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah,
like, I love the scene. I love the scene where Bill Murray played as a zombie, like just to act like one of them, and like that
yeah,
fucking guy shoots him. I'm like,
yeah.
bro, come on. But it's such a good movie too. Like those type of like comedy horror movies are so funny to watch. Really, really
Oh
dig
yeah,
them,
definitely.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What did you think of The Walking Dead?
Molly went past for like the first season and that's it.
Oh shit. Yeah,
To be honest,
that's fair enough.
yeah, it's I don't know, TV shows now, they get boring and they sort of sometimes they lose like the story plot from like after the first season and all that, and it's like they're just running out of ideas.
Yeah, a lot of that happened after the third season. It just went downhill.
Yeah, I just can't get into TV shows as much. Like, I'm more of a movie person, man. Like, I can't wait for 28 years later to come out. Like, I can't wait
Yeah.
for that. And that, like, 28 weeks later was good. 28 days later was good. What else I've been watching a shit ton of movies lately, man. I watched the Peter Pan horror movie. That was horrible.
Oh,
Yeah, I watched
they
them. What's that?
Winnie the Pooh. They did Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
Oh
Guts
yeah, they did.
as well.
Yeah, Blood and Honey. Yeah, that was horrible as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a friend that defends that movie. I'm like, you're just no. We're still friends, but
What?
that movie sucked. That yeah, that's I watched the Popeye horror movie. It's called Popeye the Slayer Man.
What? I've never heard of
That came
this.
out recently. Yeah, that came out recently. The latest Alien movie was good.
Yes, that one was
That was
freaking awesome. I loved it.
yeah, me and a mate watched that in theaters, and that was freaking awesome. Longlegs was good as well. The Substance, like, it's been a really good horror movies for like maybe like the last year or so, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that, but let's finish off with our top 5 horror villains. Who would you pick your top 5 horror villains?
Oh man, that's tough. Okay, first two would be definitely Freddy Krueger top.
Yeah,
Second, Candyman. Those two for sure.
Yeah.
Third, gotta be Chucky.
yeah,
Fourth, I would say Jason Voorhees. Gotta be fourth.
yeah.
And then fifth. Oh man, fifth. I guess I just have to give it, to Leatherface. Just have to.
Yeah,
That.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a hard one, Noah. It's like picking your top 5 guitar players.
For real, it is.
Yeah, I can give you my top 5 horror villains
Yeah,
because sometimes they will shock you. So I'll go Captain Spaulding, House of Thousand Corpse.
Okay.
Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Okay.
Then I'll probably go with Ghostface, Michael Myers, and then probably Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's hard, but like, it's like I was saying, it's sort of like picking your top 5 guitar players, which we could go on forever with that one. And dude, thank you for coming on and hanging out with me, man. I appreciate you for doing this. Really do.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. We have to stay in touch, and you'll be going on tour with Hirax, opening up for Exodus as well soon.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be on
Okay.
April 26th, coming up like next week.
Yeah, shit. Just after not Good Friday. Oh yeah, it was like a week after Easter. Sorry. This whole year's gone so quick right now. I don't know where we're at now. But go on tour with Exodus, dude, that's freaking amazing. And I know Katon's been telling me some cool stories about those guys.
Yeah, and it's so exciting, because we got to play with them in London, and then we got to play with them again. We played them with Dortmund as well. So now playing with them on home turf, and it's Anaheim, but it's LA, So playing with them in LA, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man, I would love to see you guys come to Australia, but with Exodus, Testament, and Hirax.
That would be nuts. Like, awesome.
I'm not asking for much, but like, just those free bands to play, just those free bands to tour Australia and just call it. What would be a good headline tour name to call that tour? Thrash from Hell.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah,
I have no clue.
Yeah, but hopefully we get to see Hirax play in Australia. Be really cool to meet you and Katon and the band as well. It'd be really great to see you guys come down here and fucking thrashing it up. And also check out your band, which I still can't pronounce it, but like I'll put all the links in the description so they can freaking listen to your awesome album. And hopefully we'll meet in person one day, dude. It'll be freaking awesome to hang out. But Allan, thank you so much. Yep, they can find you on all social medias as well. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything, man. Sir. And make sure to check out Hirax's latest album, man. It will kick you right in the cherry balls.
That's for sure.
Yeah, man. So if you want to hang out for a little bit longer when we finish recording, that'll be sweet. But guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow Allan on all of his social medias and go and listen to Hirax's new album, please. See you guys next time. Peace.